Welcome to episode 7 of Gun Guides, where I show you how to get, use, and master every gun family in Spiral Knights. In this episode, we'll be covering the Autogun line. Autoguns are possibly the most used guns out there. They provide some of the best damage in the game, all while being beginner friendly. Autoguns have 4 different 5-star options: the Shadow Damage Grim Repeater, the Normal Damage Volcanic Pepperbox, and the 2 piercing options, the Plague Needle and the Blitz Needle. The Plague Needle trades a lot of its damage for the poison status. Both the charge and the basic attacks can inflict poison, but the poison is stronger on the charge than it is on the basics. Autoguns can shoot twice before reloading. Each shot is a burst of 6 small bullets in a cone. The charge attack has your knight shoot 15 shots in a sweeping motion. You can't move during the charge or the basic attacks. Autoguns, mainly the Blitz Needle and the Grim Repeater, are the highest DPS weapons in Spiral Knights. Their damage is unreal in both their basic and charge attacks. We'll go over the basic attacks first. As a rule of thumb, you never really want auto target on, but for autoguns, it can be quite useful. Head to your controls and make sure auto target is bound to a key you're comfortable with it being bound to. I use spacebar. If you're DPSing one enemy with the basic attacks, you can use auto target to maximize your damage and avoid whiffing your shots. The basic attacks trade their insane damage for their mobility. Whenever you attack, you plant yourself in place. This can be really dangerous if you're facing enemies such as fiends or wolvers. Make sure to be careful and patient with the basic attacks. Using attack speed increase lowers the amount of time you're stuck in place though, so maybe consider Swift Strike Buckler if you're having trouble. Autogun basic attacks have a larger spread the further away something is from you, almost having a shotgun effect. You have to be close to enemies to get great damage out of the basic attacks, which is usually where a gunner never wants to be. Fiends will dodge the shots most of the times, and wolvers will tunnel away. Make sure you're up close and personal when you plan to use the autogun basics. If you're close enough, with every needle landing, you can even one-shot Devlights with one basic attack from the Blitz Needle. Autoguns also have devastatingly strong charge attacks. The autogun charge is very straightforward, but something to note is that the Blitz and Plague Needle's charges don't inflict knockback, meanwhile the Grim Repeater and the Pepperbox do. The autogun charge is a much safer option than the basic attacks. This is due to the range at which it deals good damage, as well as the fact that it can flinch. For example, landing one needle from a Blitz charge onto a beast or fiend will almost always be enough to flinch it, making them much less of a threat. Autogun charges are the best single target damage in the game. These charges provide a one-of-a-kind way to gun that pays off with unmatched DPS. The main thing to remember when you're using the charge is to wait until enemies are vulnerable before planting yourself down and firing. Let's take a wolver and see when it's vulnerable to a charge and when charging is a bad idea. A wolver will tunnel under the projectile unless it's A. barking, B. channeling an attack, or C. performing the attack. So the best time to blitz it is during these moments when it can't tunnel. If you're impatient and try to blitz when the wolver is running at you or standing idly, it will tunnel most of the time and appear behind you. Another good example is a jelly. A jelly is vulnerable all the time, but its ground spike attack will hit you if you stand still too long. Waiting for the ground spike attack to be used before firing is a good way to avoid taking damage. If a battle is too crowded and there are too many enemies to keep track of, using a different, more mobile gun such as a blaster is a much safer option. I do want to take a second to mention the Torpor Tantrum plus autogun charge combo. If you didn't know, Torpor Tantrum is the sleep haze bomb. Planting down a torpor or two to sleep enemies allows you to get multiple autogun charges off as close as you want on enemies that are normally really hard to hit. This combo works wonders in places where the enemies hit hard and dodge lots, like Candlestick Keeps or Devlight Depths. The main reason a large majority of players even pick up autoguns, mainly the Blitz Needle, is to kill Trojans. So I'll look at how and when to use Blitz against them in my miniature Trojan guide. Trojans have 3 attacks, the first being a slam attack, where they charge for a short amount of time and smash their sword in front of them, dealing knockback and damage in a large area. The second attack is a dash that if you get hit by it, knocks you back. The Trojan can also chain the dash into a sword smash at the very end of it, as you see here. The last attack is a channel that once completed, shocks and damages any player nearby, as well as knocking them back. It also gives the Trojan a damage buff for a short time. If you want to blitz a Trojan, you need to get behind it to hit its crystal. There are a couple ways to do this. The easiest is to stand in front of the Trojan and bait out the smash attack. A similar technique is standing super close to the Trojan, circling around it until it does the channel, and blitzing it then. If a Trojan uses its dash, there are two ways to handle taking it out. You can either blitz him when the dash ends, or bait out the smash attack finisher. When a Trojan is at the end of his dash, it looks for any player in a small radius around it, and if it finds one, it uses the smash attack. Even if you're standing on the side or even behind of a Trojan at the end of his dash, you'll still be close enough to make him use the smash attack. On another note, after having channeled and gained bonus damage, the Trojan will sometimes refuse to attack, so you might have to be patient for a few seconds after it gets its attack up. The Blitz isn't the only strong autogun though. The shadow damage Grim Repeater is also one of the strongest sources of DPS. Grim charges can take care of every enemy that isn't undead or a fiend. Even though it's strong against gremlins and slimes, the Grim can easily one-shot constructs and beasts with its charge attack. Now is normally when I start talking about flash charges, but they were removed. But for now you can still flash the basic attacks. The Autoguns have nothing out of the ordinary with its flash basic, just extra damage. Autoguns might seem difficult to use at first because of their low mobility, but once you get used to playing around it, you get access to some of the highest DPS available in all of Spiral Knights. Thanks for watching my Autogun guide. If you have any questions about Autoguns or think I missed something, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.